Calcutta, 16th August 1946. One call for direct action, and a modern metropolis collapsed into 4 days of fire and steel. Who lit the first spark? Who failed to stop it? And who paid the highest price? Welcome to Twisted Logic. And today we uncover one of the darkest, bloodiest chapters in Indian history. This is the Great Calcutta Killings. To understand this tragedy, we need to step back. The British Raj was crumbling, independence was within sight, but the future of the subcontinent was torn between two visions: a united India or a partitioned land creating Pakistan. The Muslim League, led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, demanded a separate homeland for Muslims. The Indian National Congress, with leaders like Nehru and Patel, resisted. Independence was inevitable, but so was the question: who would rule, and how would Hindus and Muslims coexist? In July 1946, Jinnah held a press conference in Bombay. He proclaimed that the League was preparing to launch a struggle. If Muslims were denied Pakistan, they would launch direct action. When pressed for details, Jinnah retorted, "Go to the Congress and ask them their plans. Why should I sit with folded hands? I also am going to make trouble." The next day, he declared the 16th of August, 1946 as Direct Action Day, and warned, "We will either have a divided India or a destroyed India." The Muslim League had just said goodbye to constitutional methods, and on the 16th of August, the trouble began. It was the holy month of Ramzan. Thousands of Muslims gathered for prayers, but this time many carried swords, bamboo sticks, and other weapons. By noon, more than 50,000 people converged at the Okhterloni monument, where League Premier Hussain Shahid Suhrawardi presided over the rally. But speeches for freedom quickly turned into fiery words against Hindus. And soon after, mobs armed with blades and brickbats began attacking Hindu shops along Harrison Road. In the industrial suburbs, the violence was even worse. Syed Abdullah Farooqui, a radical trade union leader, led mobs into the Kesaram cotton mills at Metia Bruise. There, Hindu laborers, many from Odisha, were slaughtered. Estimates say 7,000 to 10,000 workers were killed inside the compound alone. By the 17th, the violence spread into Hindu-majority neighborhoods. Eyewitnesses recalled men dragged from their homes, beaten, stoned, hacked with swords, their bodies sometimes strung up as public warnings. Women were not spared. Rapes, forced conversions, entire families destroyed before their neighbors' eyes. One chilling account comes from G.B. Majumdar, former Inspector General of Police. He described Raja Bazar during the riots as a butcher's lane. Naked bodies of Hindu women, severed limbs hanging like carcasses in a slaughterhouse. It was not just violence, it was barbarity. By nightfall, Calcutta's roads ran red. By the 21st, Viceroy Wavell finally deployed troops. On the 22nd, the fires began to die, but what remained was horror. Streets littered with corpses, vultures circling above. And then, the tide turned. Hindus, who had been slaughtered for days, began to fight back. One man emerged as both hero and villain: Gopal Chandra Mukherjee, better known as Gopal Patha. Patha meant goat in Bengali, a nod to his butcher family trade. But to Calcutta's gangs, he was a feared leader. With hundreds of boys under his command, Gopal Patha gave a chilling order: For one Hindu life taken, take 10 back. Soon, Hindu groups, Vyayam Samitis, and gang fighters armed themselves with sticks, knives, even revolvers smuggled from World War II stockpiles. Marwari traders funded the counterattack, and the killing spiraled into a two-sided bloodbath. By the time peace talks calmed the city, the damage was irreparable. Between 4,000 and 10,000 dead, over 100,000 injured, and more than 100,000 displaced. The Howrah Bridge was choked with evacuees, Hindus and Muslims alike, fleeing a city that had become a battlefield. The Great Calcutta killings were not just riots, they were a warning that once politics turns neighbor against neighbor, the descent into blood is terrifyingly fast. Who started it remains debated, but who lost? That answer is simple. People did. In the ashes of Calcutta, the road to partition became inevitable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so we can keep bringing you stories buried in history's darkest shadows.